Yeah, Cat. Assuming you can hear me. Got to remember to keep looking up at the screen to see if anybody's here or anybody says anything. At least you're talking, my live. Figured I was messing around on the lathe, so I might as well turn the cameras on. It might be a bit more than a sanding job. Fair call. Mind you could also, it's a fair call as to that might be why you didn't talk in mine. So there is a possibility that I'll get an earworm, or I might not. Put the link into one of the chats. Much more exciting when there's people talking rubbish in the chat anyway. So just for interest, and if anyone asks while I'm not looking, this is American Ash. Hey, Chris, how you going? So I changed days at the community store this weekend, so Kat might have noticed there wasn't a Sunday morning live this morning. And I was going to do one yesterday afternoon and I forgot, so my fan base will be terribly disappointed. So, Chris, when you drop into the Tommy lunchtime lives, quite often Kat will be lurking in the background, having a look. I think I've got her addicted to watching wood turning on YouTube. I'm not sure whether I'm in trouble for that or not. But she's also come over and had a bit of a go on my lathe as well. So made a Christmas tree about a week ago. So I've got a little bit of tear out just through the middle there in a couple of spots. So I'm just working with the 80 grit to see if I can get that out. I really don't want to take another spin with the gouge and make it too much smaller, considering I want it to be a yarn bowl. Almost. So what it means, normally when you get a bit of tear out, I remember how I was talking to you about going uphill. Whoops, wrong one. Might not quite, but just here, there's a little mark about that long on the, so it's just coming around into the start of the end grain on the bowl. It's almost sanded out now, but there's just a couple of little tool marks there that, and there's another one just here. And they're just on the opposite sides of the bowl. It could be just a little bump where the bowl's not quite round or where I moved the chisel. But it just gives you a little bit of roughness, and I'm just trying to, you probably can't quite see that there. No, you probably can, it's right there. It's just a little bit of a lighter patch on the, so that little patch there, that lighter stuff, that little line right there is what I'm trying to sand out. And it's sort of a bit of an odd spot because it's not actually right round truly on the end grain. So this is the true end grain here, and that's coming off the side grain, and it's there. So whether it's just a little open spot fault in the wood, that one's nearly gone, so that's good. It's ash, Chris. So I'm going with a 10 to hold it. Phil Anderson style. I've got a mortise in the middle, which you could see from the other camera. I think this is 80 grit I'm going with here at the moment, yeah. The old 80 grit gouge. It's only the cheap Bunnings stuff, so it's, I've learned you, when it's not doing it anymore, you just get a fresh piece. Otherwise you spend hours there trying to sand with something that's, so that one's pretty much gone. There's just a tiny little, about 3mm long piece there, and that's almost gone too. I'm just about happy with that. Just a little power sand over the top of it to So that was 80 grit on the power sander as well. This is 120. So Robbo, on one of his sessions, or it might have even been the last session he actually did, he gave us the guidelines for the sandpaper and going through the grit. And your grit you previously used, you halve it and then add that on again. So if you use 80, your next grit should be 120. If you're using 120, that would mean your next grit would be 180. If you're using 180, then your next grit would be 270, which is 240 for what I've got. And then after 240, it would be 360, which is 320. But I usually skip the 320 and go to 400. That's looking all right. So the reason I'm going over to the other side of the bowl is so that the drill is rotating opposite to the direction of the lathe. This whole thing doesn't have a reverse on it. And then here it's the same, it's coming up on that side, so I can run it there. Coming up quite nice. Now, you still just see the little shadow of the mark there, but I could probably spend quite a bit of time on that trying to get that out. And maybe not coming out anyway, so 240. Hello, Robbo's sitting there in the background patiently waiting. Hey, Robbo.
G'day. How you going?
How you going? Hope you haven't been waiting too long.
No, just
I just mentioned your name in vain too, so that's probably why you turned up. It's like Ben, you know, going Ben, Ben, Ben.
Oh, yeah.
I was just talking about you going through the grits last time. You halve it and add it on to get your next grit.
Oh, yeah. G'day, Chris, Katrina, Katrina's the one that has got the I Hate Sid Club, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So when you're in the Pommy lives, you can say good day to Katrina a lot of the time too, because she's lurking in the background often.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've got her addicted to watching wood turning.
Oh, silly
She come
girl.
over here about a week ago and had a bit of a go on my lathe as well, so I might have more than just watching perhaps.
Yeah, I won't be on for too long. I've actually got the family over at the moment, so.
Yeah, no worries. I just
they're
thought
all busy. They're all
I'd
busy
delay it
yakking.
going. I might as well turn it on.
Yeah, they're all busy yakking about bloody Wi-Fi and internet and crap. So.
Oh yeah, all the interesting stuff.
Yeah, stuff I don't understand.
So, I guess the next question moving forward is with the parcel that's coming over this way. Is that are you going to be able to get that moving soon? Or?
Yep. In fact, I was going to contact you to find out where it had to go to.
Yep. I'll find what I'll do is I wrote the address down in my notebook. I'll find that and I'll just message it to you on Facebook.
Yeah, so I can get it over there Monday or Tuesday then.
Yep, I'll give him a ring Monday and tell him to expect it. And then I can work with Jay when he wants it up there once it's here.
Yeah.
Have they lifted everything, Robbo, or is there still some restrictions on?
We're not allowed out in the regional area, but we're allowed to move around within the Melbourne metropolitan area.
Okay.
So, yeah, still got to wear masks outside and all that sort of crap.
No, I suppose it's better than not being able to move it all, though.
Well, that's right. And, things are slowly starting to open up again, like the pubs and restaurants are allowed to have X amount of people in it. And
yep.
There's no curfew now, so that's good.
Yeah, well, you dirty stop-outs like yourself, Robbo, want to get out on the terps all night every night. That would have impacted you terribly, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would have. Definitely it did. Yeah. Yeah, God, I felt like a kid again having to be home by 9 o'clock, you know.
Bit of ultra shine.
Yeah, it's another
Pretty
few weeks.
demo.
Sorry, what's that, Sid?
I think Cade must have had a demo on last night. Jay must have been pretty keen to watch it. He was on the Zoom half an hour before it started.
Yeah, I know. I watched most of it. Yeah, I'm not sure, Katrina, what's going on there, whether we're allowed to or not, but...
Yeah, he's going to take a phone call.
Yeah.
I had to take that one. It was the wife.
Oh, dude. Yeah, she'd think you were playing up if you didn't answer it.
I get into trouble if I don't answer the phone. She only rings me if it's something important. Like Katrina's been watching. She said, looks like you're going to be able to go regional shortly as well.
Yeah, I know. I just answered it before. I said I'm not sure what's going on there or how long it's going to be.
Beautiful. That doesn't look too bad. It's a bit of ash. I found, while I was fishing around the other day, I found a little area with a variety of trees in it, including, and it's less than 20 k's from here, common elm, oak, silver poplar, and black locust.
Yeah.
Quite
Must have
a
been
few.
an old homestead or something, was it?
May have been. That might be telling too much. There's a lot of black locust and a few fruit trees floating around it as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen black locust turned. I don't know much about it though.
Now, a lot of the old homestead had a lot of English trees and things around them.
Yeah. Your microphone's good, Robbo. I can even pick up the blowfly.
Sorry?
I can even pick up a blowfly.
Yeah, little bastard. He just came in.
Oh, hang on. We got Dr. Bob sitting there patiently waiting as well. Hey, Dr. Bob, how you going?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
G'day, Bob. You in a discotheque, are you?
No,
You're
I just
red.
got.
Red light.
I just got.
Yeah.
I can. Well, let's see.
Well, you're in the dark room, are you?
Yeah.
Developing pictures.
I guess that looks a little better. You got these colored light bulbs I can change the brightness and color on, and I'm playing with them.
Okay.
I haven't been near a lathe in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and it's driving me crazy. How are you doing, Robo? I've been worried about it because I haven't heard from you.
Oh, no, I'm going as well as can be expected.
He's on parole now, Dr. Bob. They got limited movement.
Yeah. They've taken the ankle bracelet off.
So we can track you now online?
Oh, I don't know about that.
How's Jay doing?
He's going all right. We watched Cade's demonstration this morning, so it was this morning for us.
Yeah. It was for me too. I must say, when he does a demonstration, he covers all the points that you can think of as a beginner and even as an expert or semi-pro. And I know I found I was saying to myself, well, I ought to try it that way. It's something different.
Yeah. We all have our ways of doing things.
Yeah, I'm just sitting up in bed with my tablet on the nightstand tonight. I'm here in Northern Virginia, just outside DC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you're still on holidays then, are you?
Well, yeah, I think you might want to call it that, from being shut in for 2 years. There's a lot of stuff my sister needed done, and as a handyman, I can help her by doing it. At the same time, I get away from the house and the kids and get some sanity back. So, what you been up to, Robo?
I've been doing staircase work, actually, turning balusters and newel posts for a company
Back to
that
your
I
bread.
used to. Sorry?
Back to your bread and butter work.
Yeah.
Sid, what you been doing?
All right. Well, I better go and join the rest of the family, I suppose, as soon as they're down there at the moment. So I shall bid you goodbye.
Have a good night.
I shall. Oh, it's a good day. Good afternoon now. Sid, yeah, if you can just drop the address and everything in the messenger, that'd be good. That's if you can hear me.
You talking to me, Robbo?
Yeah. If you can just drop the address that thing's got to go to in messenger.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. I'll catch you all later.
No worries.
See ya.
Thanks, Robbo. See ya.
Bye.
Sid, are you putting this out on YouTube?
Yeah, it's running live at the moment.
What's your site?
Sid's repurposing.
Okay.
Hang on a sec. I'll. I just put the YouTube link in the chat under the StreamYard link, Dr. Bob.
Okay. Thank you.
Clean all the dust off my glasses, I can see.
So what have you been up to today?
Chasing geese and ducks around and this pretty much.
Sounds like a holiday.
Almost. It's a Sunday, you know, a day of rest. That's what I'm going with anyway. Did you see my witch? I'll change cameras. So I made a broom for Halloween, Dr. Bob.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's cute.
And hang on, I'll just change the screen setup here. That's better. So I don't know whether you've sort of kept up with Steve Keevil on the last Sunday of each month. They do a hashtag week. Last one was Witch Week.
Oh, okay.
That's her broom,
Right.
and she can ride it.
That's pretty innovative.
So I've been making a few, but just before the Witch Week thing went up, I'd been making some little witches to sell in the store as like just little decoration ornament type things with a similar principle, but just coloured in with a Sharpie. So that's the little witch.
Uh-huh.
And that's the little broom. And the same principle, the little witch can fly on her little broom.
Very
Just little
clever.
Halloween decorations. So I've been doing the Christmas decorations, and I was trying to work out how to do one I could sell for Halloween. The broom actually takes longer to make than the rest of it.
Oh, I can understand that, being so small.
But it's good. They're turning the witches up on that little Wen lathe I got. Just got that set up to do that, and just did the brooms on a different lathe. So I just had the two lathes set up, and bang, bang. Need a different. So I'm leaving this one a bit chunky, Dr. Bob, because I want it to be a yarn bowl, so it's got a bit of weight to it.
Yep, I've made a few of them over the past year for people. And the first one I made, I had the problem that the person that really loved it because it was her favorite wood and it was from a tree that fell in their yard and all the blah 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 stuff that you hear, but it wasn't heavy enough, so I had to make a second one and leave it very thick in the bottom.
Yep. Yeah, I learned that with the first one. You take it, don't have enough weight in it. That's why the bottom's quite broad as well. Yeah. I've got a few of these blanks, sort of 6 to 8 inches in diameter and 3.5 inches ish deep. Well, if they make good yarn bowls, then they sell, then I'll make a few yarn bowls out of them. I'll have to try my high-tech depth gauge.
You mind if I put up your URL so that someone wants to jump in can?
Yep. Really need to look at grinding myself up a bottom feeder for this. second, I'll give that a touch up, and I'll just do one more pass, Dr. Bob. That's the famous words, isn't it?
Yep, the dangerous ones.
That's right. One more pass in this case, should be okay. I've got about half an inch of depth on the bottom and a quarter of an inch on the side, so it's really just a finishing pass.
So what's the last YouTube you did?
The last one I did was just a little practice live with Darren Callison, who was going into earworm for Keith, and he wanted to have a little practice. I've been a bit slack on YouTube. I think I might have jumped in on one of Jay's there in between as well.
Yeah, I saw that Jay was telling me that he was getting his lathe in a few days.
Yeah, probably a week or so, but so we're working on freighting it to here from Robbo's, and then I'll load it into a trailer here at the freight depot with a forklift, and I'll take it to Adelaide from here, which all was just going to work out a bit easier than trying to go to Adelaide, get it on, and go to Melbourne and get it on and come back to Adelaide with all the restrictions and stuff that are in place.
You need a forklift to move it?
Forklift to get it on. A bit of inventiveness to get it off at the other end.
Does he have access to his yard?
He's looking at taking a couple of fence panels off the back end, but there won't be access with a forklift in there. I've got a couple of furniture trolleys, like piano trolleys.
Yeah.
So I'll take some. I've got a heap of old plywood here off of pallet tops. So it's just rubbish plywood, but it should be enough to lay over any soft spots to give us a reasonably hard surface to wheel over till we get onto the concrete in his shed. And then the other alternative is to dismantle it and take it in pieces.
Yeah, just make sure you bring the tools and breaker bar as needed.
Yeah, well, I've got all that, so I'll have a look and make sure I've got all that with me, because I know Jay hasn't got much.
I know something he does need, and I've been trying to see if I couldn't figure out a way to get one at a reasonable price shipped as an air compressor.
He's got an air compressor now.
Oh, a real one? Not just a little one for art airbrush painting?
He's got one. I've got two here. I've got it's a 20-litre tank on it. It'll do everything he wants to do with it. So anything from pumping up tyres to... Yeah, no, I got that probably 3 or 4 weeks ago.
the trick is going to be, will he have enough current to run the shop?
Well, you don't have to run everything at the same time. So,
Oh, that's true.
you know, like I've got stuff in here. If I ran everything at the same time, it'd drop my circuit, but I'm only using one lathe at a time. So the compressor, yeah, I think it's a 0.5 horsepower. So he should be fine running with that kicking in and out while the lathe's running.
Yeah.
Push come to shove with that, because he actually puts it outside the shed when he's in the shed working. He could possibly run a separate lead from the house on a different circuit to run the compressor. Because that would only be like 30 feet away. So he's not a huge distance. So he's got one lead sort of run from his house semi-permanent. And he could, if it did turn out to be an issue with popping the circuit, he could just run another lead onto a different circuit. But I can't see that it will, because they're not. I've got, it's the same. I've got one the same, and I'm only running that off a lead out in the other shed. Runs my little denailer gun.
Well, the big thing I found when I try to stack them on the same circuit is that if the lathe is running, the compressor can come on all at once. But if I try to start, I have it running and turn the lathe on, or vice versa, there's a bit of a problem because it's too much of a surge.
It depends which one's got the biggest surge on the capacitor to start, and the lathe probably would have.
Yeah, that's why, once the lathe is running, you shouldn't have any problem being able to have the other kick in.
But I'm pretty sure it's only a little 0.5 horsepower motor on it.
What amperage is your standard 220 or 240 at for a standard house outlet?
Standard household outlet is a 10 amp. And the other, we can go to 15 amp. So I've got, what have I got in here? I've got one 15 amp circuit and 4 10 amps. And all of the 10 amps are broken, or one 10 amps running all the lights through the roof, plus the compressor at the other end, but the lights are all just LEDs, so they've got very little draw.
Yeah, for my shop, I was it was a problem because the wiring was put in 20 years ago. The cabling is still very good. There's not a problem. It's direct burial outdoor cable.
Yep.
It was put in along the roof line of the house and then dropped down and buried into the garage. But it was designed to put a welder on it. And of course, we're running 120. So they brought a 50 amp circuit out for the welder. So they'd also put the garage light on it. And that was the limit. And that was all. And when I got it, I had to put in my lathe, which is, in my case, the 220 volt, which is kind of nice because we're split phase, if you're familiar with that.
Yep.
So what I did is I stuck the lathe across the 240 leg, and I have one plug, one circuit breaker, and it goes to one plug that's the 240. And all I got that's 240 is a lathe and a big bandsaw with a 3-horse motor on the bandsaw.
Yep.
So if I want to use one or the other by only having one receptacle, I have to unplug one and plug the other in. So, and then I took my lighting and stuck them on one of the 110 legs, because it's split phase. And that wasn't a problem because I put all LED in. And when I put an amp meter on it, I was pulling like 2.5 amps with every light I could turn on.
Yep.
So, in a small air compressor that was 220 that cycled on and off across the main line coming in. And they couldn't believe it when a friend of mine I happen to know for some time is one of the electrical inspectors, and he come by to unofficially see how I had done it, because I used to be licensed, but that's been a long time ago. And I used to be an electrical inspector for a local community for into factory. I
Yep.
didn't do with theaters, high school theaters, movie theaters, drama, where you have a lot of power. And outdoor stuff, I did that for like 10 years after I come back to Michigan and retired. But I got to know all the different inspectors, and he just shook his head and he said, well, you're grandfathered, but what you did was highly creative. And he says, I keep checking my meters here, and you did a pretty good job. And since it's grandfathered, I'm going to let you go with it. I was quite pleased with myself.
I put the power on out to the shed here, and the feed line into the shed is double capacity to what I've actually got running in the shed, so I can boost it quite a bit yet.
Well, I didn't want to pay to put new cable in, because then I'd have to bring it up to code for today, and because that it's still up to code, but the feed wire is grandfathered to the panel, because I have a panel in the shop. So everything is right there, and it's set up as with the main. So if I screw up or someone overloads it, it'll simply trip the main. Never had that happen. Even stuck an outdoor receptacle on the outside the shop so people can plug their radios in or something when they're outside, and makes it nice for plugging in yard equipment, edgers, stuff like that. And the poor inspector, Billy just kept scratching his head, and he says, it's all to code. Technically, it's all to code.
Yep.
I've even got a camera online so I can watch the shop if I want to anytime. And if there's an alert, it notifies me anywhere on my phone. So I keep getting these alerts, and when it pops up, I have the camera, and it's someone, one of the kids coming out to get something out of the garage. And they know it's on, so they don't know if I'm watching or not, but I've had wave at me and say hi, and I even had one do the old turn around and bend over and show the butt at the camera.
Why not?
They're teenagers, and I'm the only one that has access to seeing it and the recording.
Early full moon. Was it a red moon, a blood red moon, or just a full moon?
But I programmed my device, whose name I don't want to say because I've got it sitting next to me here because I travel with it.
Yep.
It's still tied to the network at home, and I can drop in on them and talk without being on the phone.
Okay, that's handy.
I didn't realize it was that easy. Just take it with you because it remembers where its parent network it was connected to is and connects back to it.
That's coming up quite nicely, really.
Looks like it.
So this gouge here, which camera on, not too far away from being sharpened up to a bottom feeder. I've only got probably another 1/4 of an inch where I can still get it into the jig to sharpen it with the. Then I'll just do it to a 60 degrees, so I'll have something to get in the bottom there.
That's what I did with a worn out one. I haven't regretted it.
Sort of a couple of times I've almost thought I'll just do it because it'll be handy regardless. But, I've got my next gouge sitting there ready. I haven't sharpened it up yet though. I've got a Glen Lucas. But I tend to try and not have too many differences between them, so you don't have to. Well, you can just rely on your muscle memory. Don't have to think about it every time you put it in.
Well, Engine Monkey 32 popped in to say hi.
Sarge, how are you?
Yeah, great stuff.
That's the one Robbo talks about and upsets the UK turners with.
Well, I've gone through 2 cans of it before I got stuff out of the UK. You
Well,
kind of beat them.
I've got some of that too.
Yeah.
And I have used it once.
The only problem I find in really hot weather, it wants to melt too easy.
What's that? The
It's
Yorkshire
something I
Cruise?
have to take in the house in hot weather. Doesn't affect it, just makes it really soft. So you take too much when you try to swipe it onto it.
Yep, so you're getting too big a bite out of it.
Yeah.
I think I haven't tried the Triple E in really hot weather yet, but I suspect that might be similar because it's a wax base as well. But it's also got a bit of solvent in it, which is makes it smell a little bit pungent.
Oh, you got someone backstage waiting to join us.
Oh, it's Jay.
The man himself.
Hey, man, how you going?
Yeah, all right. Yourself?
All right. Sorry, I hope you haven't been waiting too long.
Oh, about 5 minutes. That's why I went to YouTube and put it in the chat there because you didn't see the private comments.
Yeah, I haven't got the private. Oh, no, I haven't got the private comments up. I've got the other comments up.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just talking to Robbo. He was in earlier. I don't know whether you were watching earlier.
No?
He's going to try and get the parcel to the depot early next week, and then I'll talk to you about getting it to you after that. See you, Sarge.
All right, cool. That sounds good. Oh, look at that. Do I make people leave now?
No, he did come in and say he couldn't stay long to start with, so you can't take credit for that one.
Oh, darn it. What's going on, Bob?
Well, first time I've been able to get on. I'm just sitting here in the library. That's where I've got a bed while I'm at my sister's, so it's nice. I can read if I want.
Yeah.
Tons of books.
So you're in the green room.
Well,
He was in the red room when he come in.
I think that's the green room where the guests wait, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, that's what they call it here in the
TV shows.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, I had a mental blank then. I just couldn't think of the bloody word I wanted. TV show. It's such a complex word too.
Yeah, that's typical for theater. TV, it's the back room.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's this wood?
Ash. American ash.
Okay. So I was just about to go live, and then I seen a notification in Messenger. I thought I'd better go check it. Someone's already live. Oh, I'll go in there then.
Sounds fair. You going to turn?
Yeah. I did this morning, just messing around.
Oh, is that
gold
leaf
leaf.
you were talking about being worse than glitter?
Oh man. Oh jeez. Don't be around when there's a breeze, all right? Don't have a fan going. Don't breathe heavy, nothing. Even then you'll touch it too bloody hard. It's crazy.
Yeah, I understand. The trick is in the brush.
The trick
right
is
shape
not being heavy-handed too. So I did a little bit on here to see what it would come out like, because that's
how do you stick it?
Well, see, this will be up for debate. This one, all right, but this is my answer, all right, because I'm a tight ass, and like I said to Robbo said I should be using. I think he said Mod Podge or something like that, but I said. Yeah. I've said I've watched all the videos. I've seen how they've done it and all the different techniques. And one of them said wood glue. So that's what I'm using, and it's working beautifully.
Would you like to know what hodgepodge is?
Probably hodgepodge. You mean Mod Podge?
Hodgepodge is
Mod
PVA
Podge.
wood glue like Aquadeer or the cheap Bunnings one, slightly diluted with water.
Yeah. That's what I did anyway.
So that's if you put I think I looked it up. I reckon it's about 3 parts to 1. So 3 parts glue to 1 part water, and you make your own hodgepodge.
Yeah, it didn't come out too bad. Like getting it to sit down into the texturing, like this texturing here.
Yeah.
Getting that to sit in there and not flake back out. It's a bit tricky, but that's good. It's good when it comes in handy and you can just grab the little bits and just dab them over and it just fills it in.
Okay.
Because this is what I made up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that looks like hodgepodge to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I tried something else that actually works even better again. Instead of adding water to wood glue.
Yeah.
Metho.
So it didn't impact the glue at all?
Well, at first it did. It kind of made it like separate a little bit, but then you keep stirring, and it mixes in quite nicely. I'll show you the mix that I made. And it actually dries quicker because of the metho.
Yeah, because the metho will take the water out with it as well.
Yeah. That's it there. Look, no different really.
Looks maybe a little bit claggier.
Oh no, there might be a couple of bits of shit I got in there, but but no, it's quite. I could add a bit more metho to it. It's got about that there. It's probably got about a quarter of that is metho. I mean, sorry, a quarter of that is glue. Sorry.
Yep.
and it kind of stinks like paint now instead of wood glue. But yeah, it comes out much stickier. That's what I used. That's what I used there. And also because Amber burnt. I don't know if it shows up on the camera. Can you see the depth in that little bit there in the burnt? And then she's coloured it with gold Sharpie. Well, that's kind of the effect she was kind of going for.
Yep.
So, and that's but yeah. So there's a lot of waste when it comes to. Don't be anywhere near anything. That's all I got to say because.
I saw your comment come up. Was that on your page or something? You think glitter's, or paraphrasing, you think glitter's bad? Try bloody.
Yeah, it's got nothing on this stuff. Yeah, and I did this as well. This was just a really thin container that I did ages ago. It was just the hardest thing I'm finding is getting the sheet on there. Without it curling, because it does that really quickly.
Okay.
And I can only kind of put that down to environment. Like I've got high humidity here, so it's just going to curl up straight away as soon as it gets out of those two sheets that's holding it down.
Yep.
I reckon I'll try it under my air conditioner tonight and see if that makes any difference to slowing the curling down. But once it comes, I'll show you the sheets. This is how I got mine, like this. Yep. And these you can get them as a book, but I just prefer them as a single sheet. I'm not sure we're going to pull out more than one here because it's really thin. Yep. And that's
one of the
tricks
that I have done is the fact that it's affected quite a bit by static electricity.
Yep.
So it's like you should be grounded, a wire if you're on your lathe, you touch the lathe, so you're grounded as compared to the lathe. If you're on a metal work surface, you want to be grounded to it. So the old-fashioned grounding wire that you would use for other use, like in early days of working with printed circuit boards, you always had to ground yourself to get rid of static. Yeah. And that's what I do. I have a wristband that has a little clip on it and I think it's 2 foot or 3 foot worth of wire. And I work on my lathe bed. And I clip it to the lathe when I do it. That way it keeps a lot of that static, which causes the leaf to turn and rotate and coil up.
Yeah. Have you worked with it, Bob?
Yeah, so Katrina just said in the chat that you need a room with no air movement, a thick mask on, and wood glue.
Oh.
And I think the thick mask is to stop your breath from moving the.
Yeah. You just got to learn to breathe a bit slower. I mean, not slower, a bit. Breathe in a different direction.
Well, you just don't breathe.
Typical cold.
That's it. I was going to say that.
Right now, the best mask is a COVID mask.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, you can take me off the main
That's
screen
what I used before, and I find that before COVID hit her, that I used the hospital masks. I was able to get them, a handful through the VA when I just asked one of the doctors or nurses. And they pull a bunch out and here, what do you want them for? And you tell them, well, I don't want to inhale something that is really bad, and I'm a woodworker. Oh, here, I've got half a box left. Take it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I found that works. You've got to have that with it.
Yeah, it's very tricky, that's for sure. It's not for people that are heavy-handed. If you're naturally heavy-handed, don't bother trying it.
Okay, thanks for the warning. I'll leave it alone.
Or if you buy some, get Shirley to do some and see how fiddly she finds it, because she kind of makes the jewelry side of things. So
yeah,
see what she thinks of it, and then maybe have a go at it. I don't ask me how I know, but You can get very frustrating, all right?
A friend told you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, see, I got this here. I was, as me messing around with stuff, I got this color here. Can you see that color?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That is gold leaf, metho, and a very small amount of shellac flakes.
Okay.
Just to try and, I was trying to make a liquid out of the gold color that was in the foil because it comes off quite easily. And then I mixed a little bit of shellac with it to brighten it up, and it did work. I've already used the base that I had to compare it to, but yeah, it comes up quite nice. It's a little bit hard to see because of the piece of wood and my light's a bit bright, but that's the gold liquid painted on just on a piece of wood, no sealer or anything. Just wanted to see what it was. It's done a little bit, hey. I can see a little bit around there. But again, that's only like one coat, so just messing around.
I went to we've got a shop over in Narracourt called Trev's Bargain Emporium.
Yeah.
And my little Christmas trees, there's a couple of them. I've put myself back on there so I can.
Yes.
Bailey has joined us and he says hi.
How you going, Chris? And did you see
Chris.
what Katrina's put there too, Sid?
Hold your breath.
Katrina? Yeah. No, yeah, just it's you've got to be very light-handed.
Yeah, we're dry. Yeah. Yeah, I've known Katrina for quite a while, so that's why I said I'll leave it alone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky shit. Right. What? You put another piece in, you sneaky. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm going on mute now.
I'm not sure what this is going to do, but you know. I'll turn the other side of it on the little lathe, or I've got the chuck in this side because I did it between centres over there. Cut the little step out so I could get the step centre into there, and just turned the mortise on the back of it. I didn't really have a plan when I started. I just had an odd-shaped piece of wood. And some of the trouble with Shirley, Katrina talking about me being heavy-handed, is she talks to Shirley too much too.
Maybe it's just this younger generation from us. Sid has a better light touch. When we get older, it doesn't exist, it seems, or it's not appreciated.
Well, I'm definitely not going to be getting in front of this one. I can tell you that much for free. Because if I get a little catch on this, it's going to launch.
I did a couple of years ago. I used some wood like that. What I did is on the high points of it, I put holes in it for candles, and I wanted to make a centerpiece. And it turned out fine. And I anchored it to a piece of wood almost opposite it, so it had a nice base to sit on, and it held the candles up. Except I didn't glue the two together. I put them together with a screw, so for shipping purposes, you could pack it easier.
Yep.
And then I found that said it was such a great toy to play with, put candles in it and spin it. They put a little ball bearing race between the two. Then they wanted me to make more.
Well, that might be what this might just finish up being a candle holder yet too.
Oh, they're waiting in anticipation of something flying for you.
Yeah, it's like half the reason you watch car racing on TV is for the crashes.
Yeah.
I've got another piece. I took it inside because I've got it sitting inside so I can look at it. This is a piece of olive. And it's another piece of olive off the same tree. And it's about 8 inches long. And it's almost triangular, but I've cut the point off so it's got a flat point. And it's got a diagonal hole about probably 1.25 inches going at a slant down through it. And I want to do something with it, but I've got no idea what. I can't work out if I can mount it on the lathe without losing too much of it. Either I'll bring it back out of the shed, and if I come on again, I'll put it up because I can't imagine I'll think of anything to do with it in the meantime. Or I might finish up having to do some flat work with it and make something out of it that way. This might just finish up being a candle holder too. Yet. In fact, I reckon it might. It might make a nice little candle holder. I'll change the camera. Have a look. All right, little tea light glass right in there.
Yeah.
Don't have to take too much more than that out, and then just use a Forstner or a parting tool just to take the hole into it. That could work.
You just need enough to hold the glass jar.
Yeah, well, I've got a heap of the glasses that hold the tea lights quite nicely. They're like just a slightly oversized shot glass.
Yeah.
Sorry, Katrina. So far, I haven't been able to oblige. I pretty much guarantee if I get a catch, it'll launch.
Jay dropped out.
No, sorry,
I
I
don't know.
I put myself up hogging all the screen.
Oh, okay.
The little knot just there.
Yeah, just relaxing here in
He may well be, Chris. You never know. And he wouldn't be able to tell us if he was because it'd be classified.
how true. But if that were the case, I should have blue behind me. Because if it was submarine, who'd want to be in green water?
Oh, I don't know. That'd be all right. As long as you could see through it. I reckon. Just got to find the right force in a bit now.
Hey, Jay, what are you making? Oh,
G'day, Eva. Yeah, but you missed the turning. I don't know.
How you going, Eva? I'm just practicing Bob anyway. I'm just going to make a slightly different shaped one, but anyway, I'm just messing around. I'm not even going to drill the bum out of this one. But I was messing around with gold leaf, Eva. Just trying it out and stuff, and killing it at the same time, you know.
well, I like the dolls you're doing.
I just put that face on it so I could kind of yeah, I did, Eva. Yeah. To be honest, no one was saying anything in the chat, so in the YouTube chat, because you can chat.
Well, Eva and I were talking in there, Jay.
Well, in my live yesterday.
Yeah, yep. For about half an hour.
Nothing come up on my screen.
Would it not come up if you hadn't gone live?
No, I can still see the YouTube chat before I go live.
Okay. So when I stop this in a minute, Eva, you'll see why I'm drilling this and not putting my hand in there with a...
Oh, sorry then. If I knew there was people on YouTube, I would have come on. Would have gone live, but I wasn't really doing much. Like I said, I didn't do any turning, just stuffing around with gold. And it's meant to be an angel bob.
Right.
Then I got that there. So I'm gonna try and carve that out with a Dremel and make 2 of those, and then carve out some grooves in the back of in the side of the angel and put them in there.
That'll be a nice Christmas gift for somebody.
I'm going to put it on top of our tree.
Oh, all the better.
Make your own angel. Sounds good. So, Eva, when I started my live, I turned this. I'm on my second piece now.
Put yourself on full screen, Sid.
Oh, good idea. I've got to turn around and walk 3 paces to do that, though, John.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I'll swap sheds with you if you want.
That's why you've only got to do 1, don't you? Half a step.
Yeah.
So this is a piece of ash. This will be a yarn bowl, I hope, maybe, probably. So I've left it chunky so that it's got a bit of weight to it. And the piece that's in the lathe at the moment is a piece of olive that I already had the back of it turned between centres, and I didn't really know what I was going to do with it, but I just liked the shape of the wood. So I thought I'd see if I could make something out of it. So now I just got to try and sand that up a bit. And
I could give you a suggestion, but I know it's a bit late now that you've got a tenon in it. But I was going to say you could turn it slightly off centre, so the hole that you've got there kind of joins up with whatever you know. And anyway,
I get what you mean. Yeah, I could have if I'd done mounted it a different way and then put a different tenon on it.
Yeah. Eva said she's got some tips to make yarn bowls. Go for it, Eva. So
I've got 2 more pieces that I really don't know what I'm going to do with yet. That's one. That's where is it? Where's me? So that's.
Chris is leaving. See you later, Chris.
See you, Chris. It's 6 by 6 across the widest points.
Yeah.
And it's about 3.5 inches deep. I don't know whether to mount it on a screw that way and take it back till I get a tenon here and make another little lantern holder out of it, or whether to throw it on the fire.
No, you could make it. You could turn it into one of those things that hold those stag plants.
Oh yeah.
You know what
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just have it mount on the wall like that.
Yeah.
Could do that. Actually, that might be what I could do with that other one. Put a succulent in it.
Yeah.
Ooh. I might even have to go for a walk in a minute and get that. And this one here.
Yeah.
So that's actually a crotch piece.
Yeah.
But when I've cut it, I didn't pick it as a crotch piece. And it's got some really nice figure in the grain, but I can't see anywhere where I can turn it without sort of running into trouble with that.
You know, Phil Anderson will be disappointed in you. You know that, don't you?
Well, I do. That's why I keep looking at it. I haven't given up on it yet.
Can't you just cut it down the gut and just use the good bit?
Well, yeah, that might be what I finish up doing yet. I could cut down through here, and I could make a little. That side could be a little winged flat bowl.
Yep.
And this side could be something else. So that may be what I finish up doing. That's the only thing I've come up with that sort of looks halfway sensible yet.
Yeah.
Without putting me life at risk, sort of thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And if you know someone do you know someone that's got succulents, or do you grow them or whatever? Because there are some fast-growing ones and there are some nice slow ones.
Okay. Well, I might have to check. I know where there's lots of succulents, but whether they're fast or slow, I would be.
Yeah. Well, aloe vera grows quite rapidly once it gets established.
But I need one that's probably going to stay reasonably small.
Go for something like a string of pearls or a string of dolphins or something like that. They're all basically the same plant, got different shapes. String of hearts.
Yep. I know them. We've been one of the ladies has been selling them in at the community store, so I know what you're talking about there.
Yeah, go grab some from her. You just snap a bit off.
She was growing them out of teapot spouts, actually.
Oh yeah. Hey, go on, Mike. Mike's just joined. Yeah.
It's a duck of some sort. On the day that looks like a bird still. Well, yeah, I can sort of almost see that. But I can tell you for free, I'm not going to stand this one with the lathe running. Considering how much air I was hitting, I haven't actually got many marks in there. I've got a little bit of a chip out up here that came out right on the tip here, and I'm trying to decide whether to fill it and if I'm going to fill it, what am I going to fill it with? Or am I just going to use it? I had a bit of a play with some milliput the other day on an olive bowl. Just putting it in the cracks.
Yeah. What'd you think of it?
It would. I made a slight mistake. I put the shellac over the top of it, and because the shellac's really dark, it changed the colour. I used turquoise, and it would have looked really good. I think it's coming up on my page tonight. I reckon I've got it scheduled to post, but I've got it here.
Yeah.
So lots of natural bark voids and stuff in it. Looks.
Yeah.
But shiny with the. I'm really happy with how the shellac come up, all shiny.
Yeah.
But
nice.
but it discoloured the milliput a bit. So I think next time I'd have to use a clear lacquer or something like that over it.
Yep. What about the hard wax oil?
Yeah, I was just. I was trying to get it something that would set a bit quicker.
Yeah.
Mainly. I think go in there. Oh. No, it's bloody. But I've been doing a fair bit of turning without turning the bloody camera on.
Wow. You need to have it set on an automatic sensor. As soon as you walk in front of it, it turns on.
Yeah. So I've been
So I
doing.
must say, the algorithm that StreamYard uses for noise cancellation is excellent because you can hear the sound of his lathe and it kind of fades away because the software says, well, this is normal, but it's not part of what I'm used to hearing in voices, and it fades it to the background.
Yep. So a few little trees.
Oh, yeah?
Made a couple of flowers.
Yep.
And a little end grain bowl.
Yep.
Now, the end grain bowl would be a perfect example to use your gold leaf in, something like that.
I'll show you another end grain bowl in a sec, Dr. Bob. This one's a bit chunky because I wanted to keep some of the features.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, that's gorgeous. I like that.
I don't mean to be rude or anything, but when you first walked up with it, it looked like an old school ashtray.
Oh, it does a bit, yeah. Because I went as close as I could to that.
Yep.
Without actually exposing it. I'm pretty happy with how that come up. That's you.
That's not me.
No, it's you.
No, it's not me.
Me either.
Is this one the one you're talking about, Eva, with not stained? It's
No,
shellac.
I think it was the other one, Sid.
The other one with the milliput in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's discoloured by and this has had the same shellac put on it. So it's had shellac finish on it. And it's just because it's such a dark brown, it does discolour it a little bit. But for something like that, it really brings it out. I reckon that's an enhancement. And shiny, like it's.
Yeah. Is that just shellac and natto?
That's just shellac, yeah.
Yeah.
So I did 3 coats of like sanding sealer thickness with the half thin down.
Yeah.
And then I reckon it's had 4 coats of the full strength.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't. Here you go, Eva. I can show you the natural colour. So that's the colour it started. So the dark bit there was like that, and the light bit here was like that. That's how much it changes the colour with the shellac.
The poor little bugs that died so you could have that.
So this was a tree. So I was in the community store one day, and a lady came in, and we've got a community bookcase in there. And she'd been coming in every week just changing books over. So the community bookcase, the deal is it's a bit like a library, but if you can exchange a book, you bring one in to swap over. If you can't, then you don't. You just come and grab a book to read. And she'd been coming in every week, and then she saw my turn stuff, and she said, "Oh, do you do wood turning? Would you be interested in some yew?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd be really interested in some yew." And she said, "Oh, well, I've got a tree that got cut down 15 years ago in my yard, if you'd like to come and pick it up." So I did.
Nice. So if you scroll up a little bit there, Sid, Eva's put a tip in. It's a 220. She put it in.
I'll have to go into YouTube, will I?
No, you should be able to just scroll up on the StreamYard comments. I can. Eva, it's from a bug, not an ant, but it's from a particular bug. I'm pretty sure Dr. Bob can tell you more.
Yeah, they call it a lac bug.
Yeah, Eva, that's the swirl. That's something similar. I've only made one other yarn bowl, and I made that for my sister, and she sort of said the same thing. So just got to make that almost so it goes full way round and turns back on itself. And I couldn't do that with the one I made her because I made the wool too thin, which then meant that I couldn't take the pieces small enough. So this one, that's why I've left the wool a bit chunkier, and hopefully I'll get it right.
Well, one way you could do, because I've made a lot of them over the years, is to take a bowl that you had about the same diameter so you could sit one on top the other.
Yeah.
One that you've gone through the bottom and didn't know why the Almighty made you go through the bottom. Well, you make that the other half the bowl and put the yarn in and feed it through the half bowl that they put on top.
So what you're saying is you get a funnel, and you say, I did it deliberately so I could make a yarn bowl.
Well, you could say you did it deliberately, or you blame it on the wood because the wood wanted to be
a yarn bowl. Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
You going to argue with Mother Nature? No.
Hell no. No.
There's all sorts of logical
she's the most powerful person I know. So
quite a selection.
Christmas.
You're going to sell them at your thrift store?
Correct. On this one here, I reckon that's American oak. It's off of a. So that's the trees, and then I've got little snowmen. And little Santas. And I've got little angels somewhere. They're a little bit more complex to make, so I don't put them in these boxes. Here we are.
Yeah, that's great tree ornaments.
So they'll go into the store on probably pretty close to the 1st of November. As soon as the Halloween stuff's done, I'll whack them in.
Here's a good question. What do you use tree for the Christmas tree? What type of tree?
Pinus radiata mostly. So there's 3 or 4. The Pinus radiata is with the plantation pine out here, and they're quite often growing on the edges of the road where they've got plantations. Or there's a couple of other pine trees that are weeds that grow on roadsides. Aleppo pine and apple pine. So we normally go out and find one on the edge of the road and pick it up. In the city, I'm guessing. In the city, I'm guessing they'd go to a plantation. I know there's one guy not far from here who grows little lots of pines each year for Christmas trees and sells them. And I think he doesn't do too badly out of it either.
Yeah, pine is basically what we use here. Or spruce. I've had some people come up with they like blue spruce to be different.
Yeah, well, those little Christmas trees, and there's a couple of little oak bowls I made. And I'm pretty sure it's oak. They're out of big boards. There's a piece of it over here somewhere. So there's 6x4s and 8x4s, and they are a pallet or a frame that the mower conditioners for case harvesters came into Australia on before they were assembled. And that's a piece of it.
Yeah. Nice piece of wood.
So that's the same as what that little Christmas tree was made out of. And when I got them, I thought they were pine, and as soon as I tried to pick one up, I knew it wasn't, because it's heavy. So the nearest thing that I've got that I know what it is oak, and it looks very similar, and that would make sense. I guess oak would be something they would use quite a bit in America for lumber, Dr. Bob?
Yep.
Yep. So a lot of it's the 8x4s are, a lot of them have got the pith through the middle of them, so they're not. You've got to sort of so that's an 8x4.
Yeah.
So I've found a couple that I'll be able to use as a big piece like that, but most of them I'm just running them through the bandsaw to make spindle pieces out of. Oak should make a good mallet, shouldn't it?
Yeah, they do. They make good tool handles too.
Okay. Might have to cut some a bit longer as well then. I'm going to start getting some of the she oak and stuff that I've got out that I cut up into blanks or into rough blanks last year, 12 months ago, and have a go at rough turning them down and start storing them away to cool down a bit, to dry out a bit more, try and get them to dry quicker so I can use them quicker.
Yeah, when the other lathe gets here, I've got 3 pieces of massive Chinese elm that I'm just going to chuck straight on the lathe.
Yep.
Make a massive vase.
Hey, Jay, we were talking earlier about how the new lathe is going to get in your shed since he's got a forklift to put it in.
Yeah, I know. That's just cheating, isn't it?
No, but can he get a forklift back there?
No. I've tried to explain this to them and to a pair of them. Sid knows more. He's seen more of my backyard. Robbo's just been through my house and straight to my shed. I
mean, I think it would get round the side of the house to the backyard, but you'd have to wheel it a long way.
And also, too, you said you've got those piano trolleys, eh?
Yep. So they'll work even through, like, probably the less distance we have to move it, the better.
Yeah. Because there's actually parts of my backyard where those dollies are going to be no good. I mean, no good. They're just going to sink into the dirt.
No, I'll bring some old bits of plywood to lay over the ground, and that'll should spread the load enough so that they'll be okay. That's my plan. That's my plan anyway.
I'm going to switch cameras.
Yep.
If it craps out, I'll just drop out and come back in. Because anyway, I'm just going to give you a bit of an idea on what we're working with there. I'm going to move. Well, none of that stuff will be there, all right. And also, that those bits of tin going across that way, I'm going to take them off the fence, so we can come straight down the alleyway through there and just come straight through here and just come straight across.
Should be able to come through that gate without any trouble, I reckon.
The gate's
if we can get round the corner at the other end, we'll get round the corner through that gate.
Yep. That's it's hard to get the camera down there so you can get an idea on the.
I've got the advantage over Dr. Bob as I've been there and I've seen it. So
yeah.
But I reckon, and then that it'll be all right over all those stones and things that you got there. That should be fine.
Yeah, that's pavers.
It's only that little bit there that you're talking about. And if I bring some sheets of plywood, just to lay over the top of it, it'll just spread the load enough.
You see that brick sticking out of the ground in the cement over there near the filing cabinet?
Yep.
That's actually a drain.
Yep.
So
we can run plywood over the top of that to give us a rest over it too, so it doesn't hook up.
There's no problems. We can go over it, but it's just going to be a bit of a bump. That's all.
Yeah. And worst comes to worst, we'll take it apart and bring it in 2 pieces on sack trucks.
Yeah, and then it's just like this. All right.
Got a plan A and a plan B. There you go, Dr. Bob. You saw the compressor.
Yay! Finally. Nice looking machine.
Yeah, does the job. We've got flowers on them now, see?
Uh-huh.
Full of flowers, that thing.
Well, it's full-blown summer, isn't it?
Spring at the moment. Right in the middle of spring.
Yeah, literally, I suppose, aren't we? Sort of.
The spring prepares us for summer with a couple of hot days here and there, you know. Right.
As hot as it gets, I would have thought the great thing to do is to get an exhaust fan and put on the roof of your shed, blowing the hot air out that collects up there.
I've got a fan up there. That's what I do in my shop. I've got a fan up there, but it just blows. It just sucks the hot air down from there and blows it down. It gives about 10 seconds of really hot air and then calms down and goes back to normal, nice breeze. Yeah.
How do all your stuff get wet, Jay?
I'll show you. It's just this one spot that I haven't cemented. See, the half of the door's got dirt.
Yep.
But then after the doorway, it's cement underneath there, but there's still a patch of dirt just here. So, because I ran out of cement, obviously.
Yep.
So, but yeah, if I didn't have that that step there, a lot more water would have got in. But it was contained quite easily. It was just a patch down there on the floor. You can't even see anything because I used mold kill.
Yep.
Sprayed mold kill on it and elevated the rug off of the concrete underneath because it was just the concrete moist, you know. So that when it's rained and concrete just looks wet. It dried out pretty quick. 2 days it dried out. I had an industrial fan blowing on it, and I had
that's good.
Got really long pieces of stick, like old pallets and stuff like that, and then just shoved them underneath it to lift it off.
Yep.
Fixed it.
Cool. See, Phil Anderson style. Did you see that?
So this stuff.
It actually worked. It stopped turning and it didn't go flying off.
That killed the mold.
Yeah. That's good shit, that.
Yeah. No, Katrina, I've got a 3 metre by 1.5 metre shed. I think the whirly would blow it off. Would rip the roof off.
Oh, it looks like a boat
Yeah, it does.
heading up the Nile.
Well, there you go. Or a slipper.
Yeah, I was about to say a
boot?
genie slipper. Genie slipper. Look, see, there's my fan, Bob.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Mounted to this beam here. It's good enough. See, Katrina, there's not much in this shed. Look, it's tiny. You could fit about 20 of these in Sid's shed. Maybe more because of the height to go up as well.
It's bigger than your other one, though, isn't it?
No. The only thing that makes it bigger is that it's got a gable roof in it and not a flat roof.
So it's the same footprint, just a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can actually swing a cat around in here and not hit the roof.
So 3 metres by 1.5 metres.
Yeah. And then I got rid of the filing cabinet because it was too chunky in here. And I got that now instead.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually it's a shelf originally from Bunnings, but what I've done is it's only meant to have these bits here are only meant to be to hold the bits of wood on the top. But what I've done is I've put them. I've got about 6 of these shelves, and because they can be stacked on top of each other to go as tall as you want. And I've screwed them in as well because they've got little clips they bang down and hold themselves in. But I've actually screwed them in with screws all the way down, and then I've reinforced it with basically all of the other sections that I had to put wood on just to reinforce it from the vibration of the grinder.
Yep.
Because it's only a thin alloy anyway, the bench anyway, and then I've just filled the bottom shelf with pavers and bricks down there to weight it a little bit.
A bit of ballast.
Yeah.
That works. But I've got quite a few Bunnings shelves in here. They're not bad units, actually.
Yeah, that's what my benches are as well.
Yep.
No, they're good when you want something that's reasonably solid.
Yeah, I'm reasonably happy with how that came up, considering I didn't know what I was going to do with it to start with.
The golden slipper.
I'll put some finish of some sort on it, but I reckon that little bit in there I'll fill with a bit of milliput or something. Just to,
Yep.
And then sand it off. I might do those cracks as well.
Did you get all the
If you
different
got some
colors?
gold, how about some gold leaf on it?
Wash your mouth out, Dr. Bob. Were you reading the chat earlier where there was comments about light-handed and no breeze and don't breathe and stuff like that when you're handling gold leaf? All of those things would be things that would suggest I should not touch it.
Yeah.
No, do it in a closet where there's no breeze except you breathing.
And that could be enough. And then I'd have to come out of the closet. And I'm not ready to come out yet.
I'm not ready for you either. Yeah.
Well, what a double entendre.
Yeah. Damn.
Well, I thought the opportunity was there, so I thought I'd throw it in there.
As long as Shirley's not watching, eh? All right, so here we go. I'm going to get a bit scary now. All right, folks.
Geez, when Jay says he's getting scary, it's probably getting scary. Hey, Jay,
Yeah.
you know your drill chuck,
Yeah.
how it's got a little square lug on the end of it.
Yeah.
I'll just show you because I've got two. So
Oh, you mean this?
yeah,
I'm talking about, yeah.
so that.
Yeah.
Well, if you do that,
Yeah.
you get that much more travel with your drill each time you drill.
Yep.
So when I come up, I'll bring my little battery angle grinder and we can cut that lug off for you.
I got a grinder. I got a corded one.
Angle grinder?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, if you cut that off, it gives you another ½ inch of travel every time you don't, because you know how you've got to wind it out ½ an inch before it bites?
Yeah.
Well, if you cut that off, that's that much you don't have to wind out before it bites. Robbo told me that. And the only reason they're on there is to knock them out of a press. Yep.
So,
Yep. No, sweet.
try and every tool that I have to borrow from my father-in-law, I'll make sure I go and buy myself eventually.
Well, it's work out what you need. If he's got it, you borrow it, and then once you work out if you're going to use it, you go and get one.
That's right. Except for the drill that he's got that I've borrowed. It's an old school Makita hammer drill. Oh,
Yep.
Damn, that's got some power.
Yeah. So you got to be careful with those, depending how big it is. But I had a 1,000-watt one that I was using one day, and bloody hell, it bit, and it nearly broke my wrist.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna go too nuts with it. So I got little girl's hand strength as it is.
Yeah, I knew that. That's what I was thinking. I sort of thought, well, just fair warning.
Yeah. All right. I didn't have plans on doing this, but I've just decided to do it all of a sudden. I don't know why, but here we go. This is the metho and wood glue mixed together. It's drying pretty quickly, which is good. That's what I want to say. Try not to waste too much gold this time, but I can't promise anything on it.
So I don't know whether I'm brave enough to do this yet. That's about,
What is that?
it's about 10 inches
Nice
by
bowl,
3
Mike.
inches.
You could do a munchies bowl or something. Oh, yeah. Yeah, have fun with that. Sure.
Yeah.
Do you know what's even worse, though?
That yellow box.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm getting a bit of that.
All right. From Darren. From Darren, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that coming over in the box?
No, he's coming over at some point. He does a lot of his, not a lot, but some of his Lego stuff over this way.
Yeah.
So he does travel over here to Mount Gambier and Millicent a bit.
All right.
Yeah,
Have a play.
Dr. Bob,
Have a play.
I won a prize with this one.
How you going, Robbo?
He's back.
In the
Whoa!
chat.
Whoop. I put him in, took him out, put him in, took him out. Hey, Robbo.
How you going? Oh, family's all gone, so I'm back out here again.
What's going on?
Not a lot.
Well, I've finished 2 things, Robbo.
What's that?
I've finished 2. Well, haven't finished 2 things. I've almost finished 1. So that's what I was doing when you were in. It's going to be a yarn bowl, so I've got to put the holes in the side of it yet. And
So Sid, watch this back and just see how I'm getting. All right.
Do I need to put you up on full screen and full volume so we can hear you properly?
Oh no! I've been trained to keep my mouth shut and just keep my mind to myself.
Yeah, Robbo's watching now, so I knew you wouldn't swear.
Yeah.
Let me in, you mongrels. Sorry, Robbo.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me you were there. I'm blaming them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
I didn't let them know on YouTube, so
Oh, he's
Yeah,
one
but
of the
I'm still blaming them.
one of the tree
Yeah.
people.
I'm going to sit in the background. I got to go. I'll watch a bit, but I've got some work I got to get done here.
No worries, Bob. Thanks for coming in.
Yep.
See you, Bob.
See you later.
Uh-oh. You can't hear that, can you?
what?
Didn't hear anything.
Oh, that's fine. That's excellent. I haven't got a cat in my hand, but there's one squealing. A bit of a family gathering, Robbo.
Yeah, kids came over and grandchildren.
What's going on?
First, well, we've had about 4 or 5 birthdays in the last month, so we just get all together and get them all done at once.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Plus, of course, we haven't been able to get over and see them anyway, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it completely lifted now, or is it still a kilometre restriction?
Yeah, there's still certain restrictions. We're not allowed to travel into regional areas. We've still got to stay within Melbourne city area, so.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. So, Sid, are you still there or what?
Yeah, mate.
So if you go and watch some people doing some putting gold leaf on stuff, right? Try and find a bloke, right? If you find a lady, you get slightly delusional that you think you can do it, you know? Ah, shit.
I used to do it once upon a time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky. I bet you use though good gold leafing though, not the cheap shit.
Oh,
That I get.
No, it was genuine gold leaf.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It used to be wade going in and wade coming out.
Yeah. That's what I said to Amber. I said, I bet you Robbo used real gold. No stuffing around with that.
Well, we didn't have any fake stuff back then anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, had to have white gloves and everything on.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to be losing any flakes of that now, would you?
Sorry?
You wouldn't want to be losing any flakes of that.
No, what it is if you handle it with your fingers, you leave a fingerprint on it.
Yep.
It etches it.
And if you're going for a smooth gold look, spray paint.
What you do after you get it on is actually burnish it with wax paper.
Yeah, or someone else showed a cotton ball.
Yeah, or a cotton ball, but wax paper works better, I think.
Yep. And then another thing too, Sid, is you really need cotton gloves.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not getting the oils from your fingers on it. I mean, yeah, and then just also the slight bit of humidity that's on your fingers as well. Oh God.
Yep.
Yeah,
you did
Sorry.
right, Mike. It isn't particularly expensive. It's only a few microns thick. So yeah, but I must admit the amount we went through would be a couple of grams. So it could still be weighed.
Well, they got this for got 100 pieces for $5 or $6.
Oh yeah.
It's it gives me a little bit of room to dick around with it and stuff it up and accidentally drop a sheet or two on the floor.
You can also get copper leaf.
Yeah, I've got a couple more colours coming. Copper and something else. Yeah, I like the way they cut it too. They put a piece of metal, a thin bit of metal like a roller or something, and they wave it right over the top of it, and then they give it a quick little blow, and it flicks the bit of foil over the bit of metal, so you can pick it up. Like, oh my God!
Yeah. There's a good video actually on YouTube about the bloke where they hand beat it, where they still make it like that.
Yeah.
Proper gold leaf. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's terrible.
G'day, Cat Hutch. Not sure who you are.
She changed the name.
Yeah.
Look up about 4 messages, Robbo.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, rightio.
One of Sid's friends.
Yeah. So Kat, I think's been watching some of your tutorial videos, or she should have been because I told her to. And she had a bit of a go doing some beads and coves on a bit of pine over here about a week ago, and made a little Christmas tree.
Oh yeah.
Oh, very good.
Here's a look. No, that's all right.
She's got it at her place.
Give her the StreamYard link. That's all right. It's all good.
How hard's ironbark, Robbo?
I don't have any trouble turning it, actually.
So you're not going to get an answer from Robbo? Not the one.
The only thing is that it tends to. It's very hard to get shavings off it.
Okay, a bit like red gum.
So short grained that it just splinters out a little bit. So that's all you got to watch. Yeah, we used to print it onto stickers, Mike, and a lot of decorative sort of stuff as well, like vases and things like that. We had a bloke that used to work there that used to restore all the gold leafing on picture frames and things as well.
Yeah, the gold leafing on the picture frame, I wouldn't mind having a go at that. I've got a couple of frames lying around.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of restoration work for the museum as well and the art gallery.
Yep.
Hey, Robbo.
Hey, yeah.
Guess what I got?
I'll give in.
He's not guessing.
I can't see it.
Pen kit. You don't want to see it, Robbo.
Yeah, don't want to know about it.
I don't know.
I haven't done one yet, but I've got the kits now.
I bought a 5-pack when I first bought my lathe, and I think I've still got 2 left.
They seem to sell pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Mike, it looks very effective on bowls if it's done properly. Gold leafing, like on the inside of a bowl or something like that.
Yeah. Kind of like my dodgy attempt here. That's actually a crack in the wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hole in the wood there. So. But yeah, that didn't turn out too bad. But I did that one inside, so it was a lot cooler. And that's only three sheets. What are you going to say, Sid?
You want to keep going for a while, Jay? I'm gonna go and do a few things. I mean, I can leave it live here, or I can drop out and you can start your own live up, and I can drop in on that one.
Yeah. Oh, I don't really care. I'm not really that fussed, I
If I leave this one running and you want to do anything, you can't do anything with the control of it. That's all.
That's all right. I don't really need to do anything, do I?
Give us a look at your angle grinder before you go, Jay, please.
Yeah.
Little Azito.
Yeah, I'm just. Give us a look at the blade on it.
Hang on.
That's what I want to see.
Hang on.
Yeah, just turn it up so the blade's facing the camera. I want to see the thickness of the blade.
That's a cutting one, that one.
Ah, yeah, righty. You're right. Yeah.
You see it on there, it's labelled
good.
cut off. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can't read.
Yeah, I showed him what I did with the On what
Yeah, I
you,
know. I came in
I-
just as you were.
yeah. It makes a hell of a difference when you haven't got a lot of travel in your tailstock.
Oh, definitely.
It's another
You've been
half thing.
lurking in the background for that long, Robbo.
Sorry?
You've been lurking in the background for that long, have you?
No. No, I was only there for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. All righty.
All
Well,
right.
I'm going to hit the button. Thank you all very much for coming in.
All right. Catch you later, Sid. See you, Jay.
See ya.
See you, Mike. See you, Kat.
See you,
Bye.
Kat.
See you later,
Mike.
everyone.
Eva, if you're still there. See you. I think she went to bed. All right. Cheers, guys. Hit the button.
Bye-bye.